back with another video, and this video is going to be insane. It's two people I know really well, and they are changing the way the West Midlands Housing Association system works. It's a very intricate video, this is. There will be a podcast to follow it up, but for now, let's go inside and take a look at one of the latest properties, and I'm going to explain who they are, what their mission is, and how they're going to create a legacy. Let me introduce the boys before we start. This is Scott, this is Cam. Thank you very much for having us down today, guys.
Okay.
This is a 4-bedroom property that you've just purchased.
Yep.
It's split over 3 floors, it has a basement, and I've walked around before this. Huge, massive potential. Tell us what you're going to do with this property.
So essentially we're going to turn it into 5 apartments. They're going to be consisting of some studios, 1 bed, 2 beds, and a duplex. One of the apartments is going to be a duplex, which is something new for us.
Okay, and individual title deeds?
Yeah.
Splitting it all?
Yes.
Okay. What is the reason that you are doing that?
We're trying to push a independent living, because
Okay.
we also deliver the housing on the back end. So we don't purchase to sell, we purchase to keep.
It's a long-term plan.
Yeah, it's a long-term plan. So we want to make sure that our tenants coming in have the best, the most comfortable, and the most facilities. But then from a purchase strategy, do you want to explain?
So yeah, we just found from a purchase strategy, you can considerably increase the value of the building by splitting it into different title deeds, as you know. So that's the aim there. It's finding that balance between finding something that suits the end user and improves their living standards, but also making it a profitable investment at the same time, and sort of merging those things together. We found that for this building, that's the best outcome.
Well, that's not easy what you're trying to do, is it? Because you're trying to get the end result where it's affordable, but also profitable because you're running a business.
Yep.
That's the key. Now, I know you guys personally, and I've been to your properties before, so your finish is exceptional, isn't it?
Yeah.
Compared to what's in Birmingham.
Yeah.
You don't need to be coy.
Yeah,
it is.
it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is the best finishes. I mean, I've been to so many service accommodation, HMOs, rent to rent, flips, refinances, and the level that I see everything at, you guys do things there. And the people that you actually give your properties to are supported living, social housing, and affordable housing. There's not a lot of care taken by quite a few of the individuals, is there?
Well, but that's the mission, isn't it? Because essentially we're trying to raise the expectation and everything at that bottom end of the market.
Yeah.
In this property world, I think a lot of people like all the glitz and the glamour. They want a certain property, shiny, marble, all that stuff. But there's no real consideration given at the bottom end of the market.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to take the bottom end and just shove it up a level.
Like the term conscious capitalism, that's kind of the term that we bounce around, which we think sort of fits what we're doing. Yeah, it needs to be profitable. Yeah, there's investors involved. Yeah, there's things, people need returns, of course. And we look at the social housing crisis as a whole, and we know there needs to be the help of landlords, investors to solve that problem. I don't think it's an issue that government can solve. So if we're going to look at it from that perspective, we say, okay, how is it profitable for private landlords, investors? How can we make it so that it works for them, but it's also beneficial to the end user, and it's contributing to this social housing crisis?
Let's go have a look around this property, because I want these people to see how big it is and your vision. It's quite important to get inside your minds to see how you pictured it when you bought it. Back of the property, 4-bedroom, like I said, in Birmingham, and you've purchased it, you've walked in, you've had the vision.
Yeah.
Did you have the vision instantly?
No.
So why? What happened?
Because we had a plan. So we had a strategy already. A strategy we was already doing. So we came in here doing 6 self-contained units. Went away and then mulled it over. And as we do, me and Scott, we go back and forth days on days on what we could do, and then it evolved into apartments.
Yeah.
So by reducing the amount of units, obviously most people think less money, but reducing the amount of units, 6 units to 5, and now we've got big units, big apartments, which meet national space standards. 2
Technically,
beds.
they'll be rented out for more than the
Yeah.
self-contained.
Yeah.
So it is a very good business decision as well.
I believe so.
And it's actually adding the next ladder in your story. So
also believe
moving people from one to the other to the end goal, which we're going to discuss afterwards. I know your end goal. These guys are going to be so impressed with your end goal when we get there. So this is five flats. How many bedrooms in each one?
So we've got a duplex, which has got 2 bedrooms.
Okay.
That's going to be just under 70 metres
And the
square.
duplex is going where?
In the front, 2 rooms and the basement.
Okay.
So we've got sleeping in down below ground, and then we've got living up above, so you have separate living area and whatnot. Then we've got a rear extension here, which is going to be another single unit. So it's 1 bed this is.
Okay.
And then we've got 2 more 1 beds upstairs in the studio.
Okay. So now I'm going to go upstairs, speak to Scott, and take a look around the space.
Yeah, only the real forget how they feel. It's me and Dill. So, hey, we in the stool, we working on hits, we staying until. Yeah, look with the bros, it been a little while since last time we chilled. Hey, send us a beat, you know we on go, we know we gon' kill. Hey, we in the
Here I am,
back, season
upstairs
chicken
with
and
Scott,
throwing the grill.
and what is upstairs going to be?
So upstairs is going to consist of 3 flats, 1 beds and 2 beds. We've got and a studio, so there'll be a studio at the top and 1 bed and 2 bed on the middle floor.
But the plans aren't finalised yet, are they?
The plans aren't finalised, so essentially we've got the floor spaces covered of how big the flats are going to be. We've had some dialogue already with the council. They're happy with the type of scheme and scope that we're trying to achieve.
Yep.
So now it'll be more a case of getting the finer details where things are going to go. Then we can submit them for planning permission.
Okay. So purchase price, where are we at with this one?
220k.
Okay, stamp and everything all in, what's it cost roughly?
235-ish.
Okay. Is that with legals?
With all the legals,
Okay.
all the bits and pieces.
So
yeah.
235,000 out the gate. Renovation. What's a refurb like this cost? These guys are looking. You turn it into 5 flats. Give them some kind of scope.
So we could be anywhere between 120 and 150k.
Yep.
150k top end.
150k will push with the extensions, won't it?
Yeah. So that would give us absolutely everything we want.
Yep.
You know, again, dialogue with the council, we might get pushed back on certain things. So 150k gets us absolutely everything. The dig down, the extension at the back. That's what the total price would be looking at.
Another important question for people to understand at home who watch things like this is buying a 4-bedroom house, converting it into 5 flats, doing the extensions and stuff. Parking's a big issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
The highways agency have a massive say.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the parking on this road?
So essentially there's no parking on the road, but because of the type of clientele that we have, the type of tenants that we have, you know, we're a registered housing provider, so we get up-to-date live information on our client base and our end user, essentially. So, you know, Cameron looked at some figures and said there's about 95% of our tenants don't drive or they don't have a car. So we looked and said, well, okay, it's not necessary. There's local amenities walking distance. There's a bus route here. Both routes go into town down the end of the roads.
And that's really important for you guys at home who are watching this video, because a lot of people take inspiration from this. You can't just buy a 4-bedroom house, convert it into 5 apartments and think it's going to pass like that. There is highways agency, there's other neighbours that have a say in it as well. So make sure you do all your due diligence, make sure you understand what your strategy is. These guys have been doing this for a very long time. So they know their end user is this, and they are a registered housing company with the council. They work with the council closely every day. So they know their stuff. So guys, don't just get buying houses thinking you can turn them into apartments. Make sure you do your due diligence and you ask the right questions. But now we're going to go from this one into one of your other properties, which is 90% finished, I'm being told.
Yeah, yeah.
So you guys are going to see why I am so excited to show you the finish of their properties, because it's exceptional. So let's go. At the property where they want to show us a 90% completed project. They want to show us the levels that they go to, what they're going to use this property for. But guys, it's not just this property, it's all of this. All 9 properties. In the first property, 6 bedrooms, grade 2 listed building. Now, like I said outside, they own this one and they own the other 8 along the block. So it's a huge project, big plans. This is the only one that's being refurbed at the moment. So let's take a look around. I want to show you some of the bits and pieces, but because it's grade 2 listed, there's certain things that they're not allowed to do, like knock out the chimney breasts. Wasn't allowed to do it. They won't be allowed to do it because it's grade 2. So had to keep the windows. Lots of things with grade 2, not going into it because that's not what this video is about, but let's take a look around the house. Kitchen is nearly complete. All the appliances are here, tiles are on the wall. Kitchen's all neutral colours. They are renting this out to a care provider on a 15-year lease. So they have designed the specification around what the care provider wants. If you come through this way, these 2 rooms are now a communal living space. So the first room was an office, the second room was a bedroom, kitchen, communal space, huge gardens outside. Like I said, it's a care provider's home. They're taking it on board off these guys for 15 years. They're going to take all of them in stages, I believe, but their mission and their goal is amazing. So let's listen to what they've got to say upstairs. I've got a few questions I want to ask them. Hopefully, their dreams inspire you guys as well, because this is not just about buying, refinancing and flipping and certain strategies that we do, because obviously everybody has different strategies in property, but this one's pretty special. Finish, as I've said, is exceptional. It's going to be exceptional because it's not finished yet. No expense spared, even down to the carpet, which was imported from where?
The carpet's from Belgium, but it's a super durable carpet. You can bleach it. It's water resistant as well, so if there was water to fall on it, it wouldn't seep through into the room downstairs. So it actually took a while to come, but it's it fits the purpose for the building.
Well, the purpose of this is you're renting this out, aren't you?
Yeah.
On a 15-year lease.
Yeah.
And guys, they don't just own this one, like I said. You own the other 8 as well, don't you?
We're on the row, yeah.
You own half the road.
Yeah.
Technically,
yeah.
What was the purchase price of all 9?
2.9 million.
And what is the refurb of all 9 of them?
They're looking at around about 800 to refurb.
Okay, and you're going to do them in stages, I believe.
Yeah, so we did this one first, and now we're attacking 3 at a time. So essentially, this was like the test model. It was doing something we'd not actually done before. We were working with closely with the care company who were leasing the properties from us. They had a specification that they wanted the renovation to be done to. So, we tried to tailor it as much as we can to suit their service user and their clientele. So it took a little bit of time back and forward over, certain details around their safety. Lots of anti-ligature stuff, which, prevents any kind of self-harming or them being able to harm anybody else.
Because of the clientele that are going to be
Because of the clientele that are going to be living here, it's high-level mental health. So there was a lot of consideration around them, essentially, and their safety. So We did a lot of back and forward, like I said, in getting this one right. So this one was almost like the test model. Now we've got that and a specification that the care provider's happy with, we can just roll that out now across the rest of the row.
Okay. And you and Cam bought this with partners?
Yeah, so we've got two other guys partnered with us. They loved our sort of model and the plan of action we had to attack, to really attack this sector in improving and raising living standards, like we mentioned over at the other property, across the board really in the social space. So not only for affordable housing and social housing, but also in the care space as well. So they partnered with us, which essentially allowed us to scale.
Okay. Mission is on track, isn't it? You are getting there, aren't you?
Yeah.
And there's a huge plan with this, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I think it's time that we go outside, we get Cam in, and we actually talk about your mission and what you guys are trying to achieve here in Birmingham and the West Midlands technically. So let's go and get Cam. I'm here with the boys now, and I have a couple of questions to ask them about their vision, their goals, certain things that I want to know that hopefully you guys want to know after seeing this video and also will inspire you. So please explain your mission.
Essentially, we're just trying to partake in fixing a problem that exists in housing. So there's not enough stock, and the stock that we do have is not very good, and we just want to be one of the leaders in that as a mission. So we want to create great housing for a range of different people. That's really nice.
And how do you expect to achieve that?
So essentially, we feel that combining innovative ideas, creativity, strategy, as well as investment, and kind of bolt that together, essentially to be able to scale something that is large enough to be able to have the type of impact that we'd like it to have on a mass scale, but also create something that's profitable, so it essentially works like a business.
Okay.
We feel that merging the two together, that's the only way that we can get this done. I don't think it's something that we can just rely on council and government to take the full burden of that. I think there has to be a marrying of private landlords, investment, and the mission, and combined together. We like to use the terms, conscious capitalism, as a way to try to, have a further reach and impact, as well as it being a successful property strategy.
Okay, so single lets, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom houses, terrace, semi-detached.
The beginning.
The beginning.
Yeah.
Then I'm presuming the next step was HMOs.
Yeah.
In a sense, so 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom, 6 bedroom higher.
Yeah.
Now, from the first property we saw, we're on to flats.
Yeah.
Because you've done self-contained units, I believe. Have you done any? Yeah, you've
Yeah,
done self-contained units. That's the next
self-contained.
one. Then there's flats, and then the end goal, which will never be the end goal, but right now it is, build your own properties to help people buy with the shared ownership and things like that.
Yeah.
And you're going through the process, aren't you? So how long has this been now?
So we've been in this for about 6 years.
Yep.
Essentially, we probably predict it's going to be around 10. I think, to get to that
the build
stage
stage
where we could build something, and then we can have a complete pipeline as to where we could take somebody having a tough time, needing some support. They could go into one of the social housing units, they may go into a HMO, they may go into some type of supported living, and there's a clear pathway to take that person through the necessary stages to then give them an opportunity of potentially owning their own home at the end of it.
Is this deep rooted? Is there something that's triggered this?
I'd say so, yeah.
What is it?
I think through personal experience and basically by having eyes as well. Like, for me, only seems fair. Like, I just think everybody should have an opportunity to live in somewhere that's nice and clean and dry and fresh. Do you know what I mean? I've had some experiences that weren't the best, but I know that I'm fortunate. Like the days where you could rent an apartment for £400 and your bills are covered, $450, blah blah blah. Like those days are gone now. So if I was in today's world, I'd have to be in one of these spaces.
Yeah.
So it's important that these spaces are good enough, like, because this is what the minimum availability is. So the minimum expectation has to be better.
I understand that, and I am so impressed with the way that you are showing somebody who is there in that position, who's struggling and has to go in certain areas of housing. You're going to show them this is the end goal. If they want that end goal,
Yeah.
you can own your own house, and you can do it through us all the way from the beginning to the end, and we're here to help. It's inspirational. It genuinely is inspirational, guys. But the story doesn't just end here, because this video didn't give enough time to completely explain their mission and what they're going to create with their legacy. So you're going to join us on the podcast, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which is going to be amazing. So yeah, that's the next port of call for these guys with us. And on that note, I'm signing out, and I will see you soon for another video.